Alright, that's it. We're gonna ground him. So he's saying that the mobile suit's talking to him. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Gundam Wing. We're on episode 13, Catherine's Tears. Because, you know, how last episode ended. The implications therein, anyway.
You know, Wing is, it's kind of hard to describe because we were talking about another show that tried to thread the needle between goofiness and being grounded. And Wing is both relatively grounded in that, yeah, people die and suffer and there's a war and all that, but not the goofiness, because not goofiness, it's just sort of the soap opera.
Don't forget how Hero is a fucking Terminator, and Duo has a helicopter vis-a-vis the Batman movies where the Penguin steps on the thing of the helicopter, was it umbrella helicopter and flies into the air? Yeah, there's goofiness here. Don't forget. Don't give it props.
No, I'm not saying that there's no goofiness. But then everything else is so over the top. Like, especially in the English version, it's like, oh, we have no more use for you. What? You know, serious. The guy gets dropped from a plane and shot in the head while he's landing. That's pretty damn. But on the other hand, it's like, oh, we have no more use for you. What? You know, like, yeah.
I don't think anyone would describe that as landing.
Crashing without grace, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I don't think you fall from a plane and land.
True.
Especially not without a parachute.
Or part of your brain matter.
Well, anyway, we usually come with boards and a note. One of us came with notes. We both at least came with a board, which is to say I came with a board too. In fact, it looks like I've done all the work this time. So let's go to the board. And with the board, of course, comes the board changelog, where I have added Marquis Wareridge, and I connected him to Relina with a green line and Lady Un with a red line. I added the Magonic core, and I added Quattro, Sadaul, and Rashid and the other three guys to it. I connected Rashid to Duo with green line. I connected Noin to Relina with a green line. I connected Hero to Catherine with a green line. I added Colonel Bunt, and I connected him with a red line to Sally Poe and Wu Fei. I added Major Nanaki, and I connected him to Colonel Bunt with a green line, but with a red arrow from Bunt to him. And I added the Gorillas and changed Sally Poe to it.
I guess he's no longer a major either, because the Fierce Alliance is...
She could be. She's on the Gorillas. She could rank herself.
I guess so, yeah.
If anything, I think I'd really change it to would be former major. Or to make it more confusing, I would put FMR, period.
Yeah. No need to change it, really.
Well, you never know.
Awesome.
The Alliance could come back.
It is an ocean. But yeah. I guess you have...
So no comments about the board? No further comments about the board?
No further comments. I'm being so helpful today, yes.
I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, well, next, the notes. Again, all of which are mine. So, Quattro is standing on the ground, shouting up at Duo, who is in the death scythe with his cockpit closed. Duo is talking back, barely loud enough to be considered normal conversation volume. And somehow, this conversation works. Again, Quattro outside in blowing sand, Duo inside a Gundam with the hatch closed.
Some might point out that anytime Gundams come in contact with anything physically, they can have normal conversations in multiple shows. But I don't think this applies here, unless, Duo installs some hell of a speaker system and,
You don't hear that from the outside, though. And typically in other shows, they say in Gundam Seed, when, what's her name?
Which character are you talking about?
Kigali. Well, if you ask me what character I'm talking about, obviously it doesn't work because I'm trying to think of their name. Kigali, when they're in the desert, fires that thing up at No, the it's like a little metallic thing that connects to the Gundam,
Oh, yeah,
and it
yeah,
lets her
yeah.
talk to the person inside.
A speaker pod,
No,
pretty much.
no, it like hacks
No,
into the communication system of the Gundam.
it doesn't punch through. You're right.
Oh, you're making a joke about Macross 7. Because, you know, the biggest crossover audience between shows is Macross 7 and Gundam Wing.
Or Gundam Seed, Seed for that matter. Probably a little more crossover there.
Well, I mean, there's more crossover. Well, whatever. I don't know. There's no defending either way. Sorry, in the middle of reading this comment, I realized, oh, there's things I didn't talk about in my notes in the hopes that you'd bring them up in yours. So we're in one of those situations where some shit's going to get tossed off the table because I didn't write it down for myself.
Like a cat.
No, I think it's more like two people who both are watching a thing, and one person decided not to write a note about a thing, and then the other thinking the other person would. I'm not trying to harp
Or like a
about
guilt
it.
trip. Yeah, or like a guilt trip, but we're not really.
No,
there.
if it was a guilt trip, I'd be like more on point with it. I said, I just realized it while I was in the middle of writing notes that there was a lot of stuff in the Wu Fei episode that obviously I wouldn't have any thoughts about because I don't fucking like Wu Fei, that I was counting on you to have thoughts about because somebody had themselves drawn as Wu Fei. At least now that Zex has the 01, he can say that all his claims about the Gundams being based on Tallgeese design aren't just coming from nowhere.
Because he keeps harping on that. Oh, this is the prototype for all mobile suits. A Gundam must be based on this. Blah,
Well, he's
blah,
not
blah.
harping on it. He's just repeating it constantly. If somebody was disagreeing with him in the show, that would be harping about it.
So I'm wondering what the difference was. And you told me, so there you go.
Well, Duo always seems to be the exposition's mouthpiece. He gets excited. Repeat the last thing said, then explain it out loud as though nobody else knew. But hey, if not for that, we wouldn't know that the Winner family was an influential and financial power of the Arabic nations, and apparently all pacifists.
Apparently. Although, I mean, it follows the train of this show being very, shall we say, blunt?
Yeah.
With their statements, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it's expositional dialogue. Tell, don't show.
Yeah.
Wareridge exclaims Katrina when he sees Relina for the first time, and then it never gets explained. I'm going to guess that was her mother's name or something, given his closeness to the family, one of those "you look like your mother" moments.
Could be. Do they do the same thing in the Japanese version though? I have to check if there's a difference. Yeah.
They do the same thing.
I don't mean the subtitle.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, the subtitle.
Oh, yeah. Because I guess he would say, if he's saying a name, the name wouldn't change in Japanese. Katrina will still be Katrina. He might pronounce it a little different, but that's still guessable, I guess. The approximation of the word, just in Japanese pronunciation. Like instead of saying cake, they say keiku, which is not wrong. It's just the way Japanese pronounce it.
Okay. So the Peacecraft family was overthrown 13 years ago. Relina has no memory of her time in said family and thought Maureen and Darlian were her parents, except that there was a picture of her as a child in the ruins of the Sank Kingdom that we saw Zex looking at. The earliest memories a person can have typically start forming around 3 years old. That would mean Relina was 2 to 3 years old in that picture, as she doesn't remember it, which would mean that she's 15 to 16 years old right now.
Yeah, I put it around 16, yeah. Typical anime protagonist age, so.
Well, given when this came out, 16 was the age of majority in Japan. So in Japan, it would be less weird for her to be 16 years old, and then they having all these romantic storylines.
Yeah.
Great security for this event for a bunch of old rich people. Relina just snuck in a gun and started blasting.
Insert meme there.
That's what I was invoking, yes.
Yeah. And the 3 elevators either built in on the stairs or added to the stairs, because I guess old people don't want to climb the stairs. Like, I'll take the elevator.
Well, no, you're thinking
escalators.
about on the way there. There's an escalator on the way there, and then when he gets to the top of one. No, well, We only see him on the one. But when he gets to the top of the escalator, then they still have to walk up physical stairs to get to the building.
You would think that's where you would have some kind of checkpoint, people checking with weapons or guards.
No, there's
and
just
the like.
one guy
Well, there are.
outside checking for
Yeah.
invitations.
I guess this place is so posh that poor people with guns would never show up to this. Only rich people with guns, and we can trust them because they're rich. As long as they have the right
it's
invitation.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
This was actually a Taco Bell the entire time.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Now we have it explained why they wouldn't surrender even if the colonies were attacked or destroyed. Except for Hero, I guess. This is a mission of revenge. Don't worry about the colonies. Destroy them first. That's your responsibility. Crazy. Despite Quattro and Duo's conversation, there hasn't been a mission since the colonies were threatened a month ago, and it doesn't seem like Troa and Hero got the same speech Quattro and Duo did.
I mean, I need to insert logic into this, but I'll give it a try. When the person that surrendered was Dr. Claw, right? Dr. J. And according to what we know about this, he's the one who gives direct orders to Hero and trained them. So I guess it's like, oh, we don't know this Dr. J guy, but Hero's like, oh, Dr. J said a thing, so I got to do it, right?
Well, two things. One, we all know Dr. Claw doesn't surrender. The moment Inspector Gadget goes to arrest him, there's a bomb in the seat when he turns it around.
Yeah.
Dr. Claw always gets away. Two, Dr. J said, I surrender, but I don't surrender the Gundams. So, complete interpretation by Hero that Dr. J said, kill yourself.
I try to inject logic. I didn't say I was going to succeed.
All right. I think Sunglasses Guy, in Quattra's group, or I guess in the Magonic group, in the English dub, is the same guy who voiced Septum, just doing a different voice. But it's very clearly a low nasally voice.
I didn't catch that.
I understand that Noin pointed a gun at them and claimed to have orders from Treize, but these guys didn't even know who Noin was, and never confirmed her orders at all before running away. If they were scared because she shot a hat off of one guy's head, maybe they should have just considered that they had two Leos standing right next to them that seemed to be on their side, and not so incredibly scared of this random stranger. Just an addendum, though, shooting symbols does not make you not part of an organization. It confirms or denies nothing except what the other person wants to believe.
Symbolic, I suppose, but I don't think. Actually, yeah, she's never at any point said, "Oh, I'm quitting." Oz. So,
well, it's just the element of "You're Oz, aren't you?" And she's like, "Bam!" shoots the symbol on the ground, and be like, "You're Oz, aren't you?"
That's right. Yeah.
Well, sorry, back something I brought up when I was talking about something we had just talked about Macross Delta in a different reaction, where I mentioned what my mind was when I thought about a thing. Back when missionaries were doing work in Japan, they would have the Japanese converts step on a picture of Jesus to prove that they had renounced their belief, right? The idea that an image has power, right? And that's where that's where I'm coming from when I think about, shooting a symbol doesn't actually mean anything, because it's not the same thing. Like, belief in the afterlife and your eternal soul isn't the same as belief in an organization.
True. It reminds me of, I think, a conversation we had very long time ago, so you're probably not going to remember, but it was about a character in a video game that you have to defeat at the end, and you're like, oh, yeah, but you get to kill this character. And I said, yeah, you can kill the character. That doesn't mean you just what they stand for, right? It's not a defeat of their ideology. It's just a defeat of that one character, right? Like, I could kill Mussolini and still be member of Mussolini's ideology. Let's put it that way. You know? Yeah, I defeated the man, but not defeated the ideology necessarily, or even renounced it. It just killed somebody, right? It's not an ideological or philosophical rebuttal.
It's kind of funny, the Leo pilot going on about how useless the guerrillas' weapons were and how he wasn't going to keep on saying it and just kill them. Then the Gundam shows up and they fire ineffectually at it in a complete mirror to the scene that was just going on. I guess as a visual display of the pecking order. Infantry, mobile suits, Gundams.
There's always a bigger fish.
I'm telling you, the Wu Fei scenes are just the worst sometimes. Sally was doing a kick-ass job of fighting the soldiers at the restaurant until she started taking hits. It was a back and forth, and that makes for a far more interesting fight than someone that just wins all the time. We saw the townsfolk gathering up after the fact. Had they jumped in instead of Wu Fei, it would have been an I've seen the movie plenty of times. I've never heard it said out loud to a degree that I know that anyone's ever said it right. It's either IP Man or Ip Man.
I think it's Ip Man.
It would have been an Ip Man level fight scene. Would have been great. In this instance, I'm not saying Wu Fei made the fight worse. His jumping in was fine. It's just what he says after that brings down any excitement. He instantly shits on her for being weak, despite her giving us one of the best hand-to-hand fight scenes so far. And then he gets all depressive on himself. It turns a great scene into a slog.
I think what they were aiming for was this. Because I think the whole episode is a question of what Wu Fei is really fighting for, right? Because I think the thing's like, oh, I don't fight the weak people because I have to prove that I'm the strongest, right? And then he got defeated by Trace. It's like, well, I guess I'm not the strongest, so what do I fight for? And then it's like, oh, I fight to help people. This is why I have the giant robot given me by the colonists who want to free themselves from the oppressive rule of the earth. I get it. I guess I can do better.
I'm not commenting about what the episode is about. I'm commenting about this very specific scene in the episode.
Yeah, but this scene is a microcosm of...
It's not. He goes on about this for like 10 other scenes in this episode. Every time he shows up, I'm weak. Why are you fighting? You're weak. Oh, well, we're fighting because we have to fight the strong person to make sure this thing happens. I can't fight in Nataku because I'm so weak. You know, it is constant over and over again. And legitimately having it happen after Sally posed amazing fight scene. Like, I was watching it again. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this is so good. She's like fighting the one guy, and then the other guy goes to attack, and it's like elbow to the face while then punching forth. It was If Man level fight scene. And then they, start hitting her. They hit her once, they bash her over the back with a stool. And then, at the very end, you see the whole town is gathered up to fight, and it's like, would have been great. They jumped in, would have been a whole thing about the town coming together. We did not need Wu Fei here. It's the element that it's redundant. That Wu Fei makes the scene worse. And it's literally a martial arts guy entering a fight scene and making it worse. There's only one guy I know who does that, and his name is Steven Seagal. Wu Fei is the Steven Seagal of Gundam Wing.
Wow. Yikes. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying yikes.
I'm just really thinking it. Despite the fact that Nanaki was loyal to Bunt, and thus would have taken part in the assassination of the nation's former peace-loving leader, it really did seem like he was loyal to the country overall. When seen back-to-back with the soldiers abusing their authority in the town, it seemed like Nanaki was somehow absent to that sort of thing, and was thinking of the well-being of the people regardless. Just kind of makes him some sort of middle ground character, doing bad things for good reasons, and then falling victim to the very same thing himself.
That's a level of nuance I didn't detect in this show, but...
Well, he follows Bunt, right? And Bunt is responsible for overthrowing the peace-loving leader, but at the same time, there is a scene right after the town fighting one, where he's talking about the well-being of the country and how they can survive Oz attacks and the guerrillas and everything like that. And I kind of feel like he cares more about the well-being of the people obviously more than Bunt does, but then more so than the people below. He is in some middle ground where he has these beliefs that nobody else shares. And not for nothing, I could see him taking part of, if my belief in this is true, I could see him taking part in an assassination of the leader for a good reason. That they have a peace-loving, pacifist leader, and we're in a world where Oz is going to come in and fucking destroy this country. And if your peace-loving pacifist leader isn't going to do anything to stop it, the people are going to suffer. So, you take him out, and you put somebody in charge that's going to do the job. Realist versus idealist.
Yeah. Yet, sadly, you end up with somebody like Blunt, who will just sell you out. Blunt.
Rhymes with.
Exactly.
All right, well, my final note then. Yes, Wu Fei, never lose sight of that kind heart of yours. Once you find it, I mean. Once you find it, never lose sight of it.
It's right there.
Remember all the commentary before. All the commentary before blowing up people in their sleep. Don't kill bleeding hearts or women. Whatever. I don't know where the kind heart thing comes from, but... Well, do you have any thoughts about 2 episodes that you watched? Not asking if you have notes. We both know you don't have any. I'm just asking if you have any thoughts about them.
I mean, again, it could have been a better episode for Wu Fei if Wu Fei didn't constantly repeat, I can't do this. I can't do this. I know what they were trying to do is like, at the very end, he goes like, yes, I can. But it feels like, okay, this could have been like 15 minutes, right?
32 people died in front of him, saying that if I had the power that you had, I could save everybody, and that's not what he cares about. Again, he's literally the worst.
That episode very much feels like, this could have been an email, right? A text message. Care about people. Go ahead. Like, I'll give it a try.
Sorry, my mind was going off on the idea of, was this the grouping of episodes where we learn where everybody is fighting for? And no, not really. We know 2 of them are fighting literally for revenge because that's the speech that they got told. But I don't think that's why they're fighting. Like, we know that in the same grouping of episodes, Quattro gave up his inheritance to come and fight. That, again, isn't why he's fighting. Feels like the conversation we just had him across Delta when we're talking about what motivation actually means.
It's what he did to get here, not why he's doing it.
And the element that Troa comes from a colony where not everybody agreed on Operation Meteor, which, by the way, a little bit more world building about the fact that everyone in the colony knows Operation Meteor, which also makes things weirder for that one guy in an internal meeting. Feigned ignorance.
Yeah.
Everybody, I guess
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I would say maybe that's the colony that Troa comes from.
Conveniently.
Well, no, because
I don't know.
Right, I conflated the element of disagreement with not knowing. It isn't that a bunch of people in the colony didn't know. A bunch of people in the colony disagreed, which is not the same as this guy not knowing what the hell's going on. Yeah. Maybe that's a meta narrative about politicians being ignorant to the things going on around them. It could be that we keep writing off the show as being blunt and over the top with its message, when in fact there is subtlety here, just buried real deep in the over the top blunt message.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that isn't just a stupid scene that doesn't make any sense in hindsight due to Troa's message. Or Troa's conversation. Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe all the dumb stuff is on purpose, and we have to figure out why it's not dumb. Maybe Hero falling 150 stories in a 50-foot drop and surviving the roll is a narrative about the medical system in America?
Healthcare system, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does repeatedly steal one ambulance, which maybe is a message about the cost of an ambulance ride in the American system.
If you can't afford it, just steal it.
Yeah. He doesn't kill the guy. He tells him to get out, which is maybe a commentary on Terminator 2. You don't remember the T-1000 gets into the helicopter and he tells the pilot to get out?
Yeah.
instead of
Well,
killing
he
him.
didn't throw him out. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And the
technically,
guy, I
the
guess,
pilot just jump out, so technically it's the same thing. I guess
yeah,
not the same thing, because if you jump out, you're more prepared than if you just got thrown out. Although probably, I don't know. I don't know if you're more likely to survive getting thrown out of a helicopter or jumping out, because there's a level to like surviving a car crash. The more tense you are, the more likely you are to suffer injuries because your body tenses up, and it's not what you want to do. You want to be loose. That's why drunk people tend to get
it also
less
depends
injured.
the outfit. I think the implication is that he could have killed himself, but more likely he got horribly mangled because the helicopter was flying very low on the ground.
Oh no, it's 3
Still
stories
not.
up. You can tell it's on level with the Terminator doing a chain gun thing, and he's on the third
Oh yeah,
story of
because
the
he was.
building.
It's their story. Yeah. No,
But
that would probably kill him or
my
horribly
argument was
mangle
more
him.
towards the element: would you be more tense jumping out yourself, or would you be more tense being thrown out? Because I would argue that you wouldn't have the time to get tense because you'd be unexpectedly thrown out. Versus jumping out, you would have steel yourself for it.
Yeah. Either way, whatever was left, it was in horrible pain, at least for a little while.
See, this is why people come to the channel, I feel like. You come for the expectation that you're going to get a Gundam Wing reaction, but then you get the, I do wonder which one you would take more damage from, jumping out of a helicopter or being thrown from it. Unexpected thoughts you're left with the day
feet, with. 30 feet, 30 to 33 feet. Well, it depends on the altitude. Actually, office buildings have higher ceilings, so closer to 40
Well, you
feet
say
overall.
10 feet, but, 10 feet per floor typically, but also what's the distance between each floor, ceiling to floor?
Yeah.
Right, how much room do you need for plumbing, electric, etc.? Also just whatever the amount of material, the amount of material needed for weight.
Yeah, I threaded a lot of AT. Well, back in the day it was AT4 wire, and so no, it's not 10 feet. It's close to about 15 feet because you have about between 2.5 feet of space if you're throwing wire through the top. So yeah, you need actually. It's not strong enough. You can't do a movie thing where you can crawl through that. There's no way you can crawl through that paneling. That's not design. That's not load bearing paneling.
Well, that's not what's happening in. I assume Die Hard is what you're imagining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no. He's going through the ducts.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what literally I said. It's not what's happening in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I would say in Die Hard 2, no, because that's outside ducting. Die Hard 1, he's going through ducting that's going between levels, so it's being supported by floor. That's why when he puts his knees and shit down on the floor, on the floor of the ducting, it doesn't like go in. He's not weight bearing. Whereas in Die Hard 2, when he's at an airport and you see it moving through, only supported by the ceiling ducting, that shit would you'd go through it.
Yeah, the talking about the ceiling where you have the soundproofing boards. There's about 1.5 to 2 feet where that's most of the top wiring is going through. So, for example, if you're wiring,
I mean, we're talking essentially about home attics.
Yeah.
Well, literally, bringing up Ray from Our Nights again. They had to repair their ceiling because one of their guys was walking along in the attic and just went leg through the floor.
Yeah. Is it also, and in the States, well, even in here, they would do also, at least for offices, if you're running AC all the time, you would add, the wadding for the insulation as well. So that has to go, that actually goes in the floor.
Yeah, I have
and the wiring goes in
two bags about, I got no way to.
Oh, they're massive.
Bigger than the camera thing of insulation.
Yeah, they're massive, yeah.
Well, because I was planning to fix the animals crawled into the underside of the trailer and it ripped a bunch of shit out of it. And I was trying to fix that at one point where I bought like 2 giant bags just to see how much that would get me. And then like a trailer underpinning repair kit, which is basically a sandpaper to sand the parts that were messed up, cleaning to make sure there's not crap on them, and then stuff to adhere to it. But that part didn't work. It would not fucking adhere no matter what I tried to do. So I've still got bags full of insulation now in my closet. Previously, on previous recordings, you may have seen clothing and shit sitting behind me above there. That was on top of 2 stacks of insulation.
Which is also, by the way, you have to be careful because eventually it breaks down and can be toxic.
Well,
Microplastics and all.
when it's time, I'll walk into the closet and never return.
Yeah.
Not the best way, but a way.
Suffocating, even. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all paths lead to, I feel like.
So, anything else?
I was hoping you were going to remain silent for a lot longer. I could just leave that in, just to put sad music. All roads lead to sad violin plays.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
That's not the sound of a violin.
No, but it's the sound. You ever watch the Hulk TV series from 1970s? That's one of the saddest.
Maybe one episode, but I think we're all familiar with the walking down the road.
Yeah, that's a sound.
Oh,
That's
Family
one of the
Guy
saddest sounds.
did that joke
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if Family Guy did it, that must mean, say it with me now, Simpsons did it. God damn it. And this doesn't work with you ever.
I know. I didn't want the connection with it.
This twice now. Both yesterday and today, I've tried to say something very obvious, and you...
Obvious to you. Clearly wasn't obvious to me.
I will write a note, and you will jump in on the point that I'm just about to make. So you clearly can read these things through, and yet somehow the obvious stuff. Say it with me now. You just don't get. Come on. Anyway, I guess that's it. So let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
It's also kind of funny that this episode is only 2 seconds shorter than Macross Delta finale.
Yeah.
Not
to say that they actually used the time there. Well used the time.
Oh, sure they did. There was no opening and there was no ending. I literally said this better not have an opening and ending. I think the Frontier episode had an opening and ending, which meant that they did not know how to use their time.
I don't know. I mean, they were able to pull it off with the opening and the ending. So that tells you that they were confident enough that they had enough time.
Pulled it off. I wasn't exactly super happy with the ending of that show either.
Was.
I know you were. But what was I?
They show you all the destroy things that the Gundams have destroyed. So that you know that this is a war.
A lot of them not appearing in any episode.
Yeah. Why were they in the Yucatan? I don't know, but hey, I guess there was an Oz base in the Yucatan.
Well, there would be.
That's the giant faces in the ground.
You mean Easter Island?
No, those are Toltec faces.
You mean Olmec?
Oh, well, yeah, Olmec. Yeah, Olmec. Every time I think about Olmec, there's I don't know if you watch that TV series. No, there's the 7 Cities of Gold.
I have seen the opening of the show.
I watched it back in the day when it was in Nickelodeon. It's okay.
Actually, I watched the Hidden Galaxy video about it because apparently there was a reboot.
Yeah, a continuation, really, of the show.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because it wasn't apparently as good. People will be on the edge of their seats for the Gundam Wing talk about the 7 Cities of Gold and Bigger Fish, Smaller Pond, and surviving the jump out of a helicopter. By the way, now I have to keep all of those conversations because I mentioned them in the reaction.
I like the old rule of mentioning URL. You gotta buy it. No, you don't have to buy it, but... See, in this plane, he's laying back.
It's the same plane. It's the same one from
No,
like
it
the
wasn't.
first
It was
couple
a-
of
it was a-
episodes. No, you're talking about the
Yeah, but not the
transport plane.
carrier.
I'm saying this is
Yeah.
the same plane that Sex has been traveling around in for a lot of episodes now.
The transport shuttle. Yeah.
ゼクス特佐対空レーダー有効範囲に入りました捕捉できますゼクス特佐大丈夫ですか
Sorry, I was taking a nap.
これよりテストを始める
Yes, we're gonna fire 1950s missiles at it.
トールギスを捕獲しましたよし撃て本当によろしいのですかこのモビルスーツはそれを求めているのだトールギスさらに
Alright, that's it. We're gonna ground him. So he's saying that the mobile suit's talking to him. I don't think this is a very good test.
No.
Though, I mean, it would have been a better test if the missiles were coming from, like, different directions and he had to, like, evade all of them. This is, like, all of your threat coming in one way. Shit, man, I got
Why
a heart
did he-
condition.
Somebody dies. They're like, there was
ゼクス特佐は完全に乗り込
Has he?
ませてしまった
I think he can do better than that.
he better because he nearly fainted in the beginning.
スーパーバーニアのレスポンスが設計と違っているようだが
しかし図面通りの出力では操作性が著しくダウンします
構わんそれを腕で補ってみせるのがパイロットという
The pointlessness of the one animation that looked back and like, never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you something, but no need to do that. Torpedoes. Okay, what is he laughing at?
He wasn't laughing, he was just grinning.
Oh, they're attacking
Alliance base.
Alliance base.
こちらレッドキャンサー敵防衛ラインを突破これより前線基地を叩くブルーエンジェル了解
I guess the best Cancer pilot and the best Ares pilot.
俺に言うセリフじゃねえぜ全部隊壊滅しました奴らは何機いるのだ識別信号確認オズのキャンサーとエアリーズそれぞれ1機ですバカなたった2機だと
To be fair, the Ares pilot has a lot worse than the Cancer pilot. Well, there's nothing in the water threatening the Cancer pilot, and he already took out the ships. The Ares guy's being shot by everything in the area.
目の部隊ではオズのモビルスーツに通じるか
I mean,
You
you should
know,
have
unless he
your
was
own
dumb enough to
suits.
surface.
Yeah.
我が前線基地は直ちに武装解除するオズに投降する準備あり速やかに
All these guys would be totally assholes if they didn't accept a surrender.
勘違いしてもらっては困るこれは処刑なのだよ
Well, there you
Also,
go.
the first
They're
appearance
complete
of
assholes.
Google Glass.
やめろ
Yeah.
何をする
Wait, how is this guy firing in two different directions?
Yeah.
They're
They better
flying
get two
that-
guys.
Well, it can't be two guys. The guy just said there was only one Ares.
やめろ
Mm.
貴様らのやっているのは戦争ではない虐殺だ言ったはずだこれは処刑だと
To be fair, he did say that. Well, the other guy said that.
Me thinks these guys are not good people.
笑いすぎだミューラ
And then he has a German last name too.
Which means nothing.
俺たちはいつまで経っても子供扱いさま少しは腕を上げたところを見てもらうさアレックスと
Annoying trainees.
ビクトリア基地とつながりましたよし北東アフリカソマリア戦線第33独立戦隊のアレックスだあノイン時はいらっしゃらないのかノイン上級特位は現在
Huh.
モスクワに
Now she's a lieutenant colonel.
I
Yeah.
thought Somalia was in southern Africa.
The Horn of Africa, the East Africa.
Yeah, but I thought it was in southern side of Africa.
我々は旧連合
No, midway. You go down the
I'm including
Red Sea.
the half, everything underneath the curve of Africa. I'm putting down as the south side. But they said they were with the North African Somalian front. So I was like, what?
It works.
Well, typically when you think North Africa, you think the Mediterranean side of
They-
Africa.
I told you they got Colonel 6 now, from Lieutenant to Colonel.
Once again, I was talking to you and looking at you, so did not see whatever you're talking about. Sorry, I blinked. What?
You keep blinking, yeah, conveniently. Yeah, I know they're saying Lieutenant Noin, but they say Lieutenant Colonel, so I guess they just, instead of saying Colonel Noin or Lieutenant Colonel all the time, they just...
No, I believe Noin is a lieutenant because she's
Lieutenant Colonel, they said.
well, she's subordinate to Lieutenant Colonel Un.
No, well,
How's it gonna blow up in your face? Also, you know the implication that these guys outrank Zex.
they don't.
They might. We don't know what their rank is.
They're Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Alex.
Could be a Lieutenant Colonel and just doing the thing where they don't say Colonel for some reason.
Yeah.
Again, Lieutenant Noin, sorry, Lady Un has been a Lieutenant Colonel the entire fucking time. They don't say her full rank for some reason.
See, now she's a full colonel.
Who's keeping track of this shit, really?
Me.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Show me your notes.
I didn't take notes on the last episode. That's what I mean. I don't have notes.
Show me your board. Something I do hate about this show, how everyone dick rides Hero.
Yeah,
You know, also the fact that he's like, I hate when everybody overestimates me. It makes my enemies come after me and makes my allies accept. He's doing the thing to Hero. He's doing the thing he hates people doing to him. Mogadishu.
しかし我々のモビルスーツ隊だけでは戦力不足。この騎士の兵士をお借りしようと思ったのですが。いいだろう。私がこのトールギスで出撃しよう。君たちの部下としてな。ドクサが部下。問題あるまい。ソマリア戦線は君たちが責任者だ。違うか。ではゼクス特佐に指令を与える。領長0400時に。
No, that's too early. I don't battle before I get some coffee. Don't talk to me before I get some coffee. I don't think you take off in a cancer. Launching? This is Red Cancer. Launching?
Yeah.
Noventa had a cannon named after him.
Guess so.
The peace-loving Noventa.
Oh, there's more than one.
These glasses have any use?
I don't know.
Well, I wasn't asking you directly. Your direct response to me just feels weird. Like, these glasses have any use, and I expect from you like a, yeah, they look fucking stupid. You're like, I don't know. Also, we hit a camera in your crotch. How do you feel about that? some animator was like, yeah, this is the best angle to draw Zex in.
I think what they want to show that he's also lying. That's what they're trying to do.
Nani? And again, this is why we recorded Macross Delta first. I get fucking goofy for this show. Wait, is this Bonaparte? Everybody looks fucking the same.
Okay, that's an interesting...
Nah, I used that cannon all the time when I was playing tanks back on my Commodore 64. Nani?
High energy.
At 6 o'clock.
I guess he...
Even though our camera's pointed
took,
straight ahead.
Yeah. I guess he took his medicine, his coffee after all.
Let's not do the auto tactic of ramming. It's very effective. Once.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the cannon, I guess.
Well, thank God we had our water mobile suits unused.
You were the base commander, didn't realize that?
Well, to be fair, it's the tall geese. Ah, they're not gonna let you surrender those, X. I mean, they're not gonna let them surrender to you, Zach. You know what I meant. To be fair, when we saw the missiles impact and they were still firing the anti-aircraft guns at them, they were still attacking. Or defending, or whatever. I swear this scene's only meant to give people epilepsy. It's always flashing screens right behind somebody talking.
So what is Sex gonna do? He's gonna try to save these people?
I do not recall the Cancer and Ares guys surviving this episode. I don't remember how they die. I just do not recall how.
Oops.
Ah, right, they're gonna blame Zex for that. Yeah, right, Zex has to counter with self-defense. This was your fucking mistake to attack Zex.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, though. These two guys are assholes, but I could see where they would get mistakenly think that Zex killed the guy. He was right in front of them, and he blew up.
Yeah, but he said you got a comrade killed, so...
Debatable. We'll save that one for the notes.
But you're dumb.
Thanks, but it's not the insult you think it is.
Yeah. I like the animation of the faces. They're pretty good.
What's classic Zex?
No, I mean the Alex face.
I'm saying I wasn't responding to you when Zex went, "Hey fools!" That's the classic Zex thing that gets used all the time.
その報告書をノインに送ってやれ。
ノイン得意に。
技術しか教えることができなかったそのミスを反省しろとな。
Let her know that I killed her students and that she sucks as a teacher.
戦争とは非常なものか。だが私も敵であったモビルスーツを組み立てている。あいつらと同様兵士としては失格だな。
Don't know what that has to do with anything.
シャトル20機分の燃料を積んだ輸送機。
Oh yeah, that's right. The thing we left last episode of
Yeah.
where Tro was gonna ruin a whole circus.
さあ、それでは本校初のお目見え。我がサーカス団のニュースター、トロワ・バートンの登場です。あれはガンダムじゃないのか？モビルスーツ。トロは？しかしよくできてるな。ああ、まったくだ。
Don't worry though, it's the worst of them.
トロのやつ、なんてものを持ち出しやがったんだ。
素敵。団長、いけるわ。これなら世界中のどこへ持って
So,
大歓迎よ。
the thing about the next episode, on last episode, is like the very end of the episode, right? But also, this episode's named Catherine's Tears, which is also the very end of the episode.
Well, he literally brought the house down.
I would say, get to the end of the metaphor. You can do it. I'm just saying, this is the next time on bit, essentially. It's the last 3 minutes of the episode. It's also what the episode's named after. The episode should have been called, like, Zex's Strife or something. The Ballad of Alex and Mueller.
That would have been interesting, but no.
Executioners of War.
トロは何？何なのあなた。死ぬのね。
It doesn't seem to be dying. He seems to be doing a lot of killing, though.
No, that was the... She said that before when she was throwing the knives. And he didn't move with the knife cut in his face.
離れていろ。これから俺はこのモビルスーツと自爆する。
何言ってるの？
Well, that's a bit out of nowhere. Especially the whole conversation with Hero about not doing that.
キャスリン。
I don't know that the backflip was necessary.
離れてくれキャスリン。俺は自爆しなければならない。
Throw a knife at him. That works too.
Or a punch in the face.
自分の命を何だと思ってるの？自爆ですって？笑わせないでよ。
Only an idiot would do that.
あなたのお父さんやお母さんは何て思う？残された人の気持ちを考えたことがあるの？
We've never covered the Troa has living parents.
残されたものはね、泣いて暮らすしか。
To be fair, maybe he did. He's ruined your fucking lives by associating the circus with a Gundam. Maybe he's like, I've ruined these people's lives. I better kill myself.
あなたね、うちのトロワに変なこと吹き込んだのは、いい加減にしないと承知しないわよ。
Hmm. Is this gonna stay a green line or should I make that a white line?
それでも死を選んだろう。お前の強さには敬服する。前にも言ったはずだ。感情で行動するのは正しい人間の生き方だと。
Said Hero, acting ironically.
惜しいことをしたな。いい腕だったのに、鍛えれば必ずものになったんだがな。
Yeah, except he ruined your business.
可愛い子には
Yeah.
旅をさせろって言うじゃない。
So where's the rest of the fucking circus? You guys are like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Also very forgiving for the fact that he did literally destroy their show, and now everybody knows that circus is associated with the Gundams, right? The very Gundams the Oz is hunting down. Yeah. Way to go, Troa.
Also, I guess it's worth discussing the fact that Oz hired a circus.
to entertain the troops. That part I don't.
Earlier in the episode, we're covering how these guys are like going around executing former Alliance bases, Oz guys. And then this episode, also, no, never mind, those were former Earth Alliance guys I was thinking about from the Wu Fei episode. But, yeah. How these things stand together. Quick, we need to execute everybody we can that was part of the Earth Alliance. By the way, we need a circus.
Yeah.
Same command structure.
Also, the thing is that the whole thing with, you said it with the title, this part with Troa should have been its own thing, its own episode, right?
Oh God, I hope not.
It could have been.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
with the whole thing with Kattering.
But it'd be like a Wu Fei episode.
Okay, no. It could have been if
Hold
Troa
on.
was
Hold on.
more...
Oh.
ヒーローは旧連合平和論者ノベンタ元帥を殺したミスの清算をしようとしている。オズの引き起こす戦火の中、ノベンタの孫娘シルビアの前に現れるヒーロー。彼はどんな償いをしようというのか。その頃ゼクスにロームフェラ財団からある任務が言い渡されていた。新機動戦機ガンダムウィング第14話01爆破指令。
Okay. Zex is given the order to destroy Zero One, which is clearly going to be the last 3 minutes of the episode. But I also just don't remember the rest of the episode. Anyway,
I
continue.
remember that Noventa had a daughter. Okay. It could have been if Troa had more of a personality and have him relate to Catherine, then you could have, you know, a
I've
full
consistently
episode.
said that Tro is 0.5 hero.
But he doesn't. So, yeah, you could have made an entire episode of it. In
Look,
fact, it should have been the other way. It should have been starting with this, with Troa. He does his mission, leaves, right, whatever. And then you move on to sex. Like, oh, you know, attacking bases or whatever, right? It just feels like they're two completely episodes that just smashed together. It's like when they do a manga to anime.
I know what you're going with
episodes.
here, but I argue against it only from the element that I feel like if you were doing stuff like this... Sorry, I may have just made up my own argument in my head now that I think about it. I don't think you said this at all. Well, I was thinking in my head, well, maybe if you just like made an episode that was combined all like 3 to 5 minute segments of each character doing one operation with an important thing.
Yeah.
But then that would mean that you would be focusing more on Hero and more on Zex and everything like that. You would make main characters where it's supposed to be an ensemble. Because there's no long Troa episode. There's no long, well, I guess, well, no, actually, there was only half a Wu Fei episode. But if you push them to the episodes that are just like a bunch of other things happen, then they become so much of a side character that doesn't even matter anymore. Though I would argue, even with Troa's existing length episodes, he is so much of a side character, it doesn't matter anymore. Him and Wu Fei. But they're the bottom two of the pilots, and they're the bottom two Gundams.
But the Alex Mueller, you know, we're interpreting Oss's instructions to be, oh, we killed everybody, right? Because a new world demands to get rid of these people. That should have been a full-length episode, right? It had the material for it, like, why are they doing this? Why do they believe in this way? Even though we had... Trey said, no, that's not what OS stands for, right? We want to build a new world, but we don't want to, you know, we don't want unnecessary extra bloodshed in the process, right? We are willing to accept surrender, right? You know, it could, I mean, in fact, the whole scene where the one guy gets killed with the missiles, that could have been the opening scene. Like, oh, these guys are never going to surrender. We're not going to take any prisoners. Enter Sex and go like, no, but you have to accept this is the rules of war, right?
Well, that can't be the opening scene because it doesn't give us the opening of who Alex and Mueller are, and we have to get them first, and then establish that they're conniving against Zex to begin with, to then establish why they would even think that Zex would have killed a guy right in front of them. You have to build up enough to establish what's going on. That moment is an established moment versus using it as the start. Wouldn't make sense, and I certainly don't want to start with that, then flash back our way to it again.
No, okay. I just the thing. I would adjust it so it wouldn't be they died because, you know, so that they could turn on Sex and Sex could kill them, right? just have an opening where they're attacking a base and their comrade dies. They're like, oh, these bastards never, even when they claim surrender, they don't. They lie. So we're not going to give any other members of the Alliance any chance to surrender. But I guess these guys were supposed to be like tin pot,
I mean, I see where you're
right
coming
there.
from. You're trying to establish their motivation, but I don't think we need that. Because if we were establishing their motivation, we'd be establishing all the motivation for, like, the guys back at New Edwards that are, like, setting off the missiles, even though their own guys are in the base. It's like, at a certain point, it's just easier to say, oh, all of Oz is like this, and then show us the exceptions, rather than have to make everybody an exception.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I said when I brought up in my notes that Naki was an exception to the Earth Alliance guys because he wanted to do well by the country, but was willing to go to extremes to take out the leadership that he thought was going to get everybody killed.
Yeah. Yeah, this was not a good episode. And I
think it was a good
more.
episode, actually.
Was it?
Yeah. We saw the extremism of the Oz guys, and then they got their own fucking just desserts, and it was a good show-off episode for one Zex not having the mindset that everybody has. Or I guess it's not a setup for that. It's a re-establishing of that after that episode where Zex talked about his motivations for wanting to give all the countries their own ability to not have been part of the Earth Alliance that they were forced to be in. So it re-establishes that via his speech that this is a vulgar action that you're taking. It's pretty good, I felt like, to have the Zex is telling me to stand down, guys. What should I do? And then have that guy be killed by an accident. Like, it's not technically an accident, it's enemy action. Enemy action caused by their own actions, which leads to a misunderstanding. It's a number of steps into understandable things that all happen kind of by mistake. And I enjoy that because sometimes you don't get writing that's that good. Like, that is pretty damn subtle for this show.
Yeah.
So I thought that entire line of events was pretty damn good. I understand that maybe I'm talking like 40% of the episode was good, and then the rest of it was just like questionable to pointless. But at the same time, 40% is a pretty good number for Gundam Wing.
Yeah. But you can have 100% of a good episode.
No, I don't think you can. Again, this is Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
Again, you're asking the impossible. You're like asking for the last episode of Macross Delta to land it. So it's like, no, 40% is pretty good. Like, what episode was better than 40% so far?
Yeah. Trying to scratch my brain in.
I mean, I argue there probably is one. Like the Noventa episode was pretty good. I'd say that's
pretty solid.
I'd say that's probably like 60-70%. Once the Gundams show up and then the Wu Fei bit, a little bit, But overall, the political discussion, what is Trey's really up to, Noventa's change of heart, and then you find out that Septum is like, yeah, actually, I would like peace, and not the war guy that his voice would lead you to believe he is. Yeah, I mean, it's the payoff episode, so clearly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been like a 60-80% if again, it would have focused only on on sex and these two guys being murderous shits and the whole situation. But I guess
it might be an element of memory or recency bias or whatever, but I would probably say the Noventa episode, the Lady Un Trap episode, and then this one.
So there you have it. Less than 50% of the episode was good enough to make it a good episode.
All right. Well, I guess with that said, then once again, I've been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?